martial arts films. I like American ones, European ones, and in particular, I've come to like films from Southeast Asia. Initially ones from Hong Kong, but over time I have expanded to an appreciation of films from Thailand, Korea, Malaysia, all generally that era. I have yet to see a Vietnamese martial arts film. If they exist, I'm interested. I am very interested, and please post links to titles in the comments, particularly if there's a way to get them legally in the United States, because I like to support the creators. But in any case, I started down this road thanks to tabletop role-playing games, with 2 games in particular being the ones that started me down this path. The first tabletop role-playing game that brought me into Southeast Asian martial arts cinema was Dragon Fist by Chris Premise, which seeded my love for wuxia. The other was Feng Shui by Robin D. Laws, which basically expanded my love to the entire genre. However, when trying to sell people on Feng Shui, I had to downplay why the game had that title. The concept of a variety of factions from throughout history, past and future, doing battle over Feng Shui sites, places of great magical power, where those who hold them can shape the flow of destiny. Generally, if I tried to explain that, it turned people off. If I had seen Bury Me High, I would have had a lot more confidence and just included this in my pre-session 1 streaming or screening to get people hyped. The film's premise is laid out in a sequence which appears to be set in what was meant to be the 60s or 70s. It's not exactly specified. In the fictional country of Karanan, which is meant to be in kind of the general area of Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. A general or some other VIP, it's not made entirely clear, brings in a Feng Shui expert that will find him a burial site for his father that will grant him great success. The expert finds 3 sites in close proximity to each other. One grants wealth, one grants wisdom, and the third grants power. Now, the one that grants power, however, will do so at the cost of countless lives. The boss is fine with this price. He's already very well off. So the Feng Shui expert is not so much happy with this. He decides to hide his plaque with the information on where the power site is and skips out, with the help of one of the boss's men who is having a crisis of conscience. The expert manages to escape, but his ally dies in the process. The expert makes arrangements for his father to be buried at the wisdom site, while the men who helped him, whose children are now orphans, will be buried at the wealth site to make sure that the children will be provided for. Jump to the present of 1991. Anna Wong, played by actress Moon Lee Choi Feng, the daughter of the man buried in the wealth cave, has made a fortune in the tech sector. The son of the Feng Shui expert, Wisely, or YC Lee, played by Chin Kalok, and I apologize for mangling these names, is a hotshot computer hacker. And he has passed off his father's books and tools off to his friend, Chen Cheng Ching. Again, I swear to God, I'm not making up that name. That's what it is in the film. Who is played by the director, Choi Su-ming. And I'm getting all this information from hkmdb.com, by the way. Anyway, Ching has become a professor of geomancy at UCLA, presumably in the Asian Studies and Cultures department, which is a real department, but they don't mention that part. They just mention he teaches he's a professor at UCLA, and he's teaching geomancy. So, my best guess. However, Wong and Wisely's fortunes have declined as of late. Wong's company's finances are on the decline, and Wisely has been diagnosed with a brain tumor, not one that will kill him, but one that will greatly impact his mental capacity. Due to some analysis, Cheng determines that Wisely and Wong are both suffering their fates due to neglect of their filial duties. Neither have been able to attend to their parents' graves, nor have they reinterred them in the past 25 years, and so the benefits of their locations have faded. So, the 3 return to Karanan, right as the general of the country's military, General Nien, overthrows the current dictator in a coup. Over the course of doing some investigation, they discover that the general is a Feng Shui expert in his own right, and also has hired a bunch of them to assist him, and has buried his father in the power site. So, the three friends, Wang, Wisely, and Chen, join forces with a rebel group to beat the general, and in so doing honor their parents as adventure ensues. The film definitely shows its budget. It's not quite at Shaw Brothers levels of involved set design. This is a Golden Harvest film. They tend to prefer location shooting instead of involved big backlot sets. But the film's climax is a massive pitched battle with a ton of extras, sweeping camera angles, big explosions, and even tanks. The film also has some very stylish cinematography. There's a thing you get in Hong Kong movies of this vintage, where there's a lot of heavy use of colored lighting, colored gels in parts of the frame, and so on, that helps to visually build the mood in a deliberately stylistically unrealistic manner. It's different from Mario Bava using color to deliberately create the look of the cover of a giallo novel in his films, but it's still kind of the same idea. Building a sense of calculated unrealism to emphasize the mood of the scene. There isn't actually big glowing red lights here or anything like that. There's no reason for that red light to be there or the blue light or what have you, but it emphasizes the tone of what's happening. It's like the anti-Michael Mann. The fight scenes themselves are very nicely done. While Ching's aptitude in martial arts in terms of the character, considering his career path, strains credulity a little, he's also played by the director and one of the fight choreographers, and so he uses that to create an opportunity where basically he puts a fight scene in that allows him and the other action director, Cho Wing, who plays one of General Nian's lieutenants, a chance to just go. It's a really well done fight scene. It avoids the problem that you get when you have the director or both of them with the fight team in a fight scene where they tend to try to make themselves look too tough or anything like that. It fits with the scene, the characters of the people involved, and is edited with other fight scenes in a way that doesn't take away with the film's actual climax and builds a strong sense of dramatic tension, letting the characters feel vulnerable, while still being exciting, dynamic, and with just really great moves that really shows what the actors are capable of. So I liked Bury Me High a lot, and if you can find a copy, I strongly recommend picking one up, especially if you're planning on running the tabletop role-playing game Feng Shui and are interested in figuring out how to implement the part of the setting that the game is named after, instead of jettisoning that part out of an airlock. I wish this movie had gotten a Blu-ray release. I'd be really interested in seeing how the use of color in this film works in high definition, but I've also noticed that with the films that are getting remasters and such from China, they tend to be lower on the supernatural side of things, unless they're like straight up wuxia. So I don't know if we're going to get that ever in the future. If the Chinese government will say, yes, we will approve re-rating this film or what have you for a Blu-ray release. If they're required to do that, I don't know. But in either case, I hope I get a chance to see this in high definition in the future. But if not, DVD is still out there, and I recommend you pick it up. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe. And also consider backing my Patreon. Patreon backers get episodes up to 1 week early of this show and any future Let's Plays. Also, please consider backing my Ko-fi. Toss me a few bucks, also helps support the show, and it's not a monthly obligation or anything like that.